Meanwhile, FBI Director Kash Patel touting his takedown of an Iraqi national accused of carrying out and plotting nearly 20 terror attacks across Europe and Canada, including plans to blow up a Manhattan synagogue. The arrest underscoring concerns about how Iran-backed terror networks could threaten Americans here at home, as it reignites the debate over reauthorizing FISA surveillance powers set to expire in just weeks. Now, the Wall Street Journal writing this: we don't know if that foreign surveillance tool played a role in Mr. al-Sidi's arrest, but his alleged attempt to mobilize attacks in the U.S. from abroad is precisely what Section 702 is designed to help identify and prevent. Failure to reauthorize 702 or tie it down with warrant requirements endangers Americans. And I agree. Ryan Mauro is an expert, though, in extremist groups and foreign threats, and the president of the Mauro Institute, and joins us now. Ryan, first off, your thought about the 702 renewal. It hasn't happened yet, but people are spooked because it's been abused in the past.
Well, there have been reforms, and of all times to be messing around and trying to recalibrate the balance between privacy and security, I would say now is not the time to be messing with this. And for those of people that don't know, this is about intercepting the communications of non-Americans outside the United States. But when you do that, you don't know necessarily if an American or someone in the U.S. is going to talk to them. And so when that happens, it gets recorded. It's not like we're going to turn it off. That'd be crazy.
So this guy in particular, so that's one reason to have a 702 authority. So one of the bin Laden sons picks up the phone and calls someone in San Diego. And you say, okay, who's he talking to? Yes, it's an American. And yes, we're listening to that phone call, but we're doing it because a terrorist is contacting them. And therefore, authorities need to find out what's going on there. So let's talk about...
It's just that communication, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't even necessarily mean that then you're listening to everything that the guy who had the call with bin Laden's son, that hypothetical scenario, it doesn't necessarily mean that that guy then has everything recorded. It's just that communication.
Got it. So, Ryan, let's talk about this. You say one of the big takeaways is this Kataib Hezbollah group located in Iraq. We have not been bombing them. We have not been heavily focused on them, but we should be.
Absolutely, because there is a network of Iranian puppets, of militias that have long operated in Iraq. They actually are tied to political parties, and they help choose who will be the prime minister, for example. But Iraq is not listed as a state sponsor of terrorism, which is it's probably something that should be fixed. Now, what's significant about this is that this huge network of Iranian proxies in Iraq has mostly been regionally focused. And then the other branches of Iran's apparatus, like Hezbollah and Hamas, they are damaged. They're constantly being bombed. Whereas the network in Iraq, it gets bombed from time to time, but it's not under the constant pressure that Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis are under. So now Iran is unleashing them, and these are the results. We've done well so far, but keep in mind that the Iranian regime does have a network in the U.S. There are mosques, even schools, that are in favor of the Iranian regime. In fact, I wrote a story about a mosque in Virginia that is supportive of Iraqi Hezbollah, the Kataib Hezbollah, the group that we're talking about. And that's, like I said, that one example is in Virginia.
So what about this? This guy that we arrested with a smug look on his face as he brought into court, so no regrets, clearly. He was reaching out to Mexican drug cartels. So, of course, if a Mexican drug cartel acts, you'll go, well, that's not terrorism. That's just a bunch of drug lords shooting each other, and they got an American. But that's why they're tapping into these other terrorists that just do terror in a different way, but have the focus on hurting Americans, right?
Right. So they're looking for cutouts so that they can have deniability. And also they probably assume that we're watching any operatives that they're connected to. So they've tried to recruit even members of Hell's Angels. They're looking at drug cartels. Anyone that they can hire to do the preparation for an attack or an attack itself, and kind of casting that wide net there. So it's a bit of a new strategy. And basically they're just saying anyone and everyone who wants to make some money and help us out, we're willing to talk to them.
With the amount of Iranians that crossed our border illegally, with all the terror activities taking place that we've detected, it's like putting the top on a boiling pot of water. So far, the FBI has done a good job of suppressing it and unmasking it. Ryan, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.